So it's a brand new farm. We're just going into our 6th calving here. It was a greenfield site, and we kind of originally planned to go spring calving, then made the decision with the grazing platform and everything else that we're going to go autumn, and I'm really happy with how everything's gone. We've got 28 paddocks here, mostly are split into 8-acre paddocks. We try and turn out as early as possible, but normally we're about the first week in March. We're quite heavy clay, so depending on what kind of winter we have, it depends on what time they go out. We're on a self-feed silage system here. All the cows are normally grazed after calving. They come in at night on the first week of October and then house in the 3rd week of October. This year's been our best year so far. We plan to start on the 20th of August. We've obviously, with the Holstein genetics using sex semen, they started coming about a week or so early. So we're now just gone over the first 3 weeks of calving and we've done 80%. Cows calved yet. The heifers are calving the exact same time as the cows, but what I do is I sync them, so a lot of them will calve in the first few days of calving, and then we run a bull with them, with the rest of them. So training the heifers to the parlour, what we try and do is when they're on the trainer on the self-feed in March and April, we just run them through the parlour, they get used to the noises and everything like that, they go through the foot bath. We try and do this 2 or 3 times a week, and we find that doing this is the heifers just get used to all the parlour. We've had no problems this year. The heifers walk straight in. They know the sound of the cake, the parlour. It's worked really, really well. We've had about 80% to Frisian females, and the rest have just come down to bull. We've mixed a bit of conventional in with a bit of sex semen this year, but we're very happy with how the sex semen is working. We're running about 6% lower conception rate on the sex semen, but we're getting a lot better heifers, and we're getting the heifers from our best cows. We've calved down 285 cows. We've had 3 milk fevers. We've had about 6 retained clens. All of them have had twins. We've had 1 stillborn calf who was an early one, which was the second one to calve, and we had 1 yesterday, and that's all we've had, and we haven't lost any of our calves. So we calve out on standing hay. We're really happy with it. This year's been great because it's been nice and dry. We also have a little bit of a transition period where the first kind of 4 weeks of cows that are going to calve, they'll come in on 20 days, they'll be fed round bale haylage, and as they're bagging up ready to calve, they then go out into the calving paddock. So after the cows are calved, they'll then go into the colostrum mob. They'll stay in there for 2 to 3 days. When they're all fine and they've passed their antibiotic test, they'll then go straight out into the milking herd. It's been hard getting to know the farm. Constantly, every year we're changing things, trying to get everything better, trying to get everything smoother. I work really well with the staff, and they come with good ideas. We'll sit down, how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that. And even with the kind of the platform and the paddocks, we know when we're going to shut that paddock up now, and we do the same paddock every year, and it runs in a real simple system way. And obviously with the weather being nice and dry this year, it's been fantastic calving conditions. The worst year we've had was the first year. We calved outside, we had no loose housing because the shed wasn't quite ready. It was probably the wettest autumn we've ever had. We had cows that weren't used to the system, weren't used to the farm. I had new staff that weren't used to the system. I wasn't used to the system, and it was very, very tricky when we brought a load of cows in, trying to get everything working together. It was very tough work, and we only had 3 staff at that time. Now, unfortunately, I'm one of a team of 5, and most of those guys have been with me from the start, and we're very happy. The rota at calving is we've got our 5 staff in. They will be on a 2 off, 12 on rota. We also have a calf rearer who comes and helps Eddie the girl. She comes with us for the first 20 or 30 days of calving before she goes back to uni. And we find that's enough staff. We're all happy. We all know we've got to work hard during calving, and as soon as calving goes and we're finished, the staff will go back onto their normal rota, which is a 11-3 on, and some of them will come in at 5 and then they'll be home by 2, and the other 2 guys come in at 8 and then they go home by 5. I always find it, as long as the sun's shining, I'm happy, and as long as the staff are happy, then I'm happy. We take the staff out for breakfast, take them out down the pub. Staff morale's been absolutely fantastic this year. Everyone gets on, no one's been moaning, no one's come in a bad mood or anything. And I've noticed if someone's got a little bit tired, I've just said to them, look, go home, come back this afternoon, and they all appreciate it. And it's, you know, as long as they're getting the 2 days off, which they are, they're ever so happy. I kind of stay on farm. This is the 5th week now since I haven't had a day off. But it's all right, I'm fine. I always go on holiday the week before calving, so I come in refreshed, knowing that I'm going to have kind of 7-8 weeks without a day off. I'm just used to it now. I think you just get mentally used to it. Your body just kind of cracks on, and then you get finished calving, you have a couple of days off, then your body crash. Normally we like to keep the cows out day and night until October. Unfortunately this year we just haven't got enough grass. We haven't had a big rainfall for a very long time. I've measured the grass the other day and I've got enough grass to keep the cows out in the day to the middle of October, so I had to make the decision to bring them in at night. I think they're getting about 40% grass and then 60% silage. They're getting 4 kilos of cake morning and 4 kilos cake at night now. They're on 7. I've just upped them today to 8 to see if, or yesterday to see if the milk went up, and it did pick the milk up by 2 litres, so I'm going to keep it at 8. It's not normally what I'd like to feed this time of year. Hopefully the milk price coming into our big peak seasonality is definitely going to pay for it. Well, we found since bringing the cows in at night earlier than we normally would, we had the same situation last year because we were very dry in the autumn and we had our best conception rates at calving. We found that the cow's condition was better going into the mating season, and our conception rate went up 8%. We're fetching the cows and calves out of the field twice a day for the first 3 weeks. We then go on to once a day when the numbers start slowing down. The calves get fed 6 litres of colostrum in the first 12 hours, and then they'll go on straight on to milk replacer. So we've got so each calf goes into pairs and they go fed on just on a teat bucket for a week, and when they're strong enough they then go up to the heifer rearing place where they're put onto an automatic calf feeder. This year we're calving down in 9 weeks, so we're going to have a 3-week break. So that's when all the staff after calving will all have a week off on holiday. We're actually going to move the calving season back a week this year. I've got kids and 2 of my other staff members have all got kids, and we find it a bit hard working around the summer holidays when the kids are off. So I want to be a bit fairer to the staff, so we're going to move it back to the 26th of August. We're putting up a new shed for the heifers, so we'll be bulling all our heifers at home this year, which is great because where they've been away before and it's been quite hard working going to get them in calf and AIing and running around with the staff. So this new shed's just going up now, so they'll all be kept at home. We've also got plans to build a silage clamp for them, so they'll be on self-feed as of next year. We're at a maximum. We can't go really any more. There is a little spot I can put some more cows on if I wanted to, but at the moment I find that 350 cows is a fantastic number for the platform. Milking's done quickly, the staff aren't overworked. You know, I think putting an extra row on every morning, every night might just overrun the system a little bit, and then especially in the summer, if I go a bit dry, I'm going to have to start buffer feeding earlier, and then it just makes a lot, work a lot harder in the summer when it wants to be nice and easy.